Hey guys, this is Namandra. I hope you guys are doing well and keeping safe. Today we're gonna prep tooth number 9, all ceramic restoration, and that was a reduction stent that we will see at the end if we made proper reductions. I like prepping the initial punch cuts in my prep because that's what I use for guide for the initial, and I'll show that you can also use reduction stent, but I'll show you how you can save a lot of time using this method. Prep using 330 burr, 1 to 1.5 punch cut holes, 2 on lingual, 1 on buccal, and you can cut it till 1 mm or 1.5 mm. I usually prefer 1 mm so that you have enough room to polish your prep. Usually you don't polish that much in the patient, but for the exams, yes, it's always impressive. Now I'm using 169L burr to prep the proximal surface. You can see reducing the proximal surface. I like using this burr because this is really efficient and really thin, but you have to be very careful because if you don't have a stable hand during that process, you're gonna nick the adjacent tooth, and make sure you never nick adjacent tooth, be it patient or be it mannequin. Once you're done with the proximal, leave a thin enamel there itself and start prepping the buccal area. The buccal surface is prepped in this video using 6855.31.012. Oh, that's a long name. I'll put this in the link so that you can follow it. And I usually use to create a margin, a rough margin all around the tooth, because if you have the margin, you know the limits. That's going to be a border, you don't cross it. Always make sure while making margin you don't go subgingival because that's a failure. You have to be 0.5 mm above the gingiva. Now we will see, as the buccal surface is biplanar, you will have to make it a biplanar. It is never monoplanar. As you see, now I'm going to use hand instrument, chipping off the leftover enamel, which you also call unsupported enamel. You will hear this in your practice and in your training. I'm using the same old burr, the long name burr, to make sure that I have proper cross reduction. Now my cross reduction on the buccal surface and the margins are done, so I will be now prepping the lingual surface using football burr, which is 379F023. I know the names are pretty long, but you don't need to worry, or you don't have to remember any time. Make sure when you use this burr, you have to go all the way to the notch or to the punch cut that we made initially on lingual surface, so that you know that your gross reduction is at least 1 mm. Now using hand instrument to remove the unsupported enamel. In this case we're removing the plastic, but we call it as unsupported enamel. Now I'm using a finishing burr after the cross reduction so that my prep looks impressive. I use 8856016. Also guys, you don't have to remember the name of the burrs. It's not important at this point of time. You'll eventually remember by practicing enough. Now you see, I'm trying to make sure that proximal area is smooth and clean. It should be smooth and clear. So now this is the finished prep. I'm going to use my probe and explorer to make sure that my margin looks smooth, and it is. There are no undercuts. From aerial view you can see 1 mm margin all over the tooth surface. Buccally, you can see the taper, beautiful taper. Taper should be 6 to 8 degree in this case. Now the lingual shoulder, which is really important, a lot of people miss it. It should be 1 to 1.5. If it is not 1 to 1.5, that will lead to failure. The margin again should be 1 mm all around the tooth surface. It should be even. As you see, now we are using the reduction stents to see if your prep is even. You see 1.5 axial reduction, which is ideal. You see 2 mm reduction at the incisor, 1 to 1.5 in the lingual, and 1 to 1.5 mm of lingual shoulder. Prep looks good, margin looks good, taper looks good. Always remember, you need to practice enough time so that in the final exam or in the competitive exam, you guys do amazing. I'm sure you guys will do amazing, so don't worry, don't panic. Best of luck, do well. Thank you.